Hey everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA. Today we're going to be talking about selling handmade items to retailers. If you have a great handmade item, this training will give you some things to think about in regards to selling them to stores. With that said, let's get started on today's training.
So one of the questions people always ask me is, Karen, I have a handmade product. Can I even sell to the larger retailers? Is that even possible? Do I have to actually create it in China and do that whole thing? How does that work? Most of the big box stores can't really work with handmade products because ultimately what happens is if they have 500 stores, for example, even taking on 2 pieces per store, that's 1,000 pieces, right? How are you going to come up? Most people who make handmade products haven't been able to figure out how to make those products on a larger scale. Now, if you have a way to do that and you can show to the buyer that you have a whole team of people who are going to be creating these products and that you can tell them your capacity, how long it'll take, and so forth, the buyer would absolutely consider it, but the reality is most people don't have that capacity. So obviously there's other exceptions to the rules. So some of the department stores and stuff, they take on a lot of kind of the cool new jewelry pieces or cool interesting gift items and so forth. And so there are obviously options for you to go and put your handmade products in the stores. If some of the big box stores have local buying programs, so they might be able to put your product in just a few of their stores. So that's an option. So technically it is to the big box stores, but it's not to all of the retail stores. But the majority of the time, it really comes down to, can you show the buyer they wouldn't mind buying your product as a handmade product. They actually would love it if you can just show to them how you're going to be able to create the product if they start generating business with you and they want to put it in all their stores and stuff like that. The other thing to think about is if you have a handmade product, maybe you don't go after the biggest stores out there. There's levels of retailers. So there's small retailers, meaning that they only own a couple stores, and then there's like mid-size or so forth where they have 20 stores or so that they're responsible for. Maybe you can handle that kind of quantity, or 50 stores. Maybe you can handle that quantity, not 1,000 stores. And there's lots of levels of retailers that you can focus on. And my program, Retail MBA, actually talks about all the different types of retailers and where to focus your efforts and so forth and how to find the buyers and everything. But ultimately, absolutely, you can sell your products on a larger scale to the big box stores. You just have to really think it through. And then obviously there's ways to sell to retailers on a mid-scale versus the big box stores. So I hope that helps.